Germany. I'm here to support the global strike of fast food and low-wage workers that's taking place today. It's happening in like 150 cities, I think, 30 countries, 6 continents. This is like a huge, unprecedentedly large uprising of low-wage workers who are standing up and saying that we deserve to earn a living wage. That's what we need to survive. If you look at like what a living wage really is, like $8 an hour, which is the minimum wage in New York State right now, is so far below the living wage that even if you're working full time, you can't afford to support yourself, you can't afford rent, food, you're on government assistance. And so what's actually happening is that, you know, I certainly think we need public assistance, but what's basically happening is that we're subsidizing wages for companies like McDonald's because they refuse to pay their workers enough that they can actually live.
Hold the burgers, hold the fries, make our wages supersize. Hold the burgers, hold the fries, make our wages supersize.
My name is Leon Pinsky, and I'm with Socialist Alternative and 15 Now. We're here because today there was an international fast food rally, fast food workers strike earlier today in 150 cities in the US and 30 countries around the world in solidarity. And this movement is growing and it has an impact on US politics, and I'm here to support in Times Square in this big McDonald's. We hope that we get to more people, but also to make our voices heard and to show workers that we're in solidarity and that we're building this movement and that it has to continue. It cannot stop in these rallies, but it has to actually go to new places, like to go to electoral elections and to start building our own organizations of working class people and to think about strikes and things like that.
And if you want to find out more about your organization, is there a website that you go to?
Yeah, the socialistalternative.org and 15now.org.
My name is Jude Rubenstein, and I'm here because, God damn it, I earn a whole lot more than $15 an hour, and I love it, I need it, I feel good about it, and everybody should. The more we all start talking about this $15 an hour bit, not $8 an hour or $9 an hour, you know, a tiny raise from what it is now, but $15 an hour. The more people just talk about it, it becomes a possibility.
Now it's interesting because a lot of people think that $15 is a lot to ask.
How much do they earn an hour, these people who think that's a lot to ask? I earn more than $15 an hour, and I need it. I want it. I love it. It makes me able to live nicely.
Raise that minimum wage, gotta raise that minimum wage. Raise that minimum wage, gotta raise that minimum wage.
What's your name and what organization you represent?
Larry Holmes, People's Power Assembly, and AccuEvolve. Today is a very important day. It's actually unprecedented. Today, thousands, tens of thousands of fast food workers all across the world, more than 33 countries, 150 US cities, went on a one-day strike to demand dignity, a decent wage, and the right to organize. This is the first global strike of fast food workers. And we're just out here today, you know, a lot of workers at McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, and other places, they walked out of their jobs this morning in all 5 boroughs. We're here this evening in front of the biggest McDonald's in the city, just to say that the workers are not alone, that the public supports them. People, regardless of their circumstances, some of us are retired, some of us never worked in fast food, some of us are in unions, some of us are unemployed, but no matter what our circumstances, we are with these fast food workers. We applaud them, and they are really the new labor movement that's going to lead us to some important victories.
Any websites that people should go to get more involved in this movement?
For more information, you can go to peoplespowerassemblies.org, or you can go to AccuEvolve.org or AccuEvolve on Facebook.
Workers see, boss says no, poverty wages have got to go. Workers see, boss says no, poverty wages have got to go.
My name is Samumba Sabukwe. I represent AccuEvolve, Occupy Wall Street, People's Power Assembly, and various groups around the city. We're out here today to fight for $15 at least or more in a union. We feel that it's a disgrace that McDonald's is making billions and billions of dollars, and their CEO, I believe, makes about $14 million a year. Just got a raise, averaging over $9,600 an hour, and he can't even give his workers 15. He can't even give his workers more than $8 an hour. And that's why we're out here today, to just bring awareness to that. We're getting a real good response from the people, and I think everybody everybody deserves a living wage, and basically that's why we're out here today. It's a quality of life issue for the 99%, not just people like Michael Bloomberg or David Koch or other rich people in this city. You know, basically we're at a point now where we can't really even afford to live in New York City. There was a report that came out a couple days ago that said that rents are still going up in Manhattan and in Brooklyn. And then there was a report that came out a couple months ago that said that the rent, like half of the people in New York can't afford their rent. So these are the things that we're out here fighting for today. It's not just wages, but it's also to bring down the rents. It's also to bring down the price of living or the cost of living as well. $15 an hour ain't enough, really, if you don't bring down the rents and other things like that. So these are what we're addressing, the issues that we talk about with capitalism and imperialism and all the other isms that are against the people. We're out here today to fight against that, and that affects everybody that's walking by. And that's why I think we get a pretty positive response. Even from the police, talking to the police who haven't had a contract in like 4 years. They understand what's going on. So that's why we're out here today. We're peaceful, nonviolent. We're just trying to bring information to the people about what's going on in their country and in their world. Today is an international strike against fast food, low-wage establishments. And this is a solidarity action of the people that support the workers inside of McDonald's. So that's why we're out here today. For example, in this McDonald's, they overcharge what they would charge in Harlem and the Bronx anyway. So yeah, it's affordable. They can do it. They got enough money to hire all these extra security guards and get the New York police phalanx to come get them out. They can afford it. You know, they can afford kettling people and not allowing people to have their constitutional right to assemble and speak. And even though we are exercising that, why are we kettled inside? All of this costs money. This costs money. These cops getting overtime for this. So this is costing the city money, you know. And good for the honest cop that's just trying to feed his family, that's getting a little overtime. At the same time, don't say you don't have the money when you have to put everything out on security. And McDonald's calls these people out here. It's not that, you know, anybody else is calling them out. So that's extra money that McDonald's is charging the city. So, you know, you're telling me you don't have the money. So basically, it's all BS.
Well, exactly, especially since McDonald's has one of the largest advertising campaigns in history. And it doesn't make sense because everybody knows the golden arches in McDonald's name. Why they have to spend all that money on advertising? Right,
exactly. I mean, they have the money, they just don't want to share the money. And like I say, they just gave the CEO of McDonald's a raise last year where he's making over $13, $14 million a year. So what does that mean? But the workers are the ones doing the work. You know, we don't know what he's doing.
If you want to find out more about this movement, how to get involved, where should they go?
OccuEvolve.com. OccuEvolve.com. This is just one of many actions that we've been doing for fast food, low-wage workers and immigrant workers, and this work will continue. So that's how you would do it. Just Google OccuEvolve or go to OccuEvolve.com and you'll see a bunch of different things coming up. Our next big action will be a march against Monsanto on May 24th, Saturday, starting at 1 o'clock. It's either 1 or 3 at Union Square. Go to our website for updated information.
Raise that minimum wage, gotta raise that minimum wage. Say what? Raise that minimum wage, gotta raise that minimum wage. Say what?
Well, I'm here today because I agree. I think minimum wage is too low. And in the treatments of workers in fast food places in general is poor. You know, you can't really survive on $7.25 an hour. You know, so an increase is the best. You know, milk is expensive. Simple things like bread, cereal for the kids, all expensive. Yet they say how essential milk is and all these other things are for us to eat. And all we can afford is to eat bad things for us like McDonald's that cause heart disease. You know, so they didn't increase the minimum wage. That's not only allowing us to better nourish ourselves, but so now we can afford rent and not all be on welfare, you know? So I support the people.
Great. And what's your name?
I'm Ashley Matthews of People Power Movement. The people have the power. Raise that minimum wage, you gotta raise that minimum wage.
It's time!
Raise that minimum wage, you gotta raise that minimum wage.
It's time!
My name is Shahid Kamred and I'm a Secretary General Pakistan USA Freedom Forum. I'm an immigrant, I'm a Muslim, and I know the reality in this country of the worker class, and especially the fast food and people who's a service community, doorman, waitress, how they are suffering at this moment. And last 40 years in this country after the Reagan, 1%, 1%, 1%, and nobody thinking about the 99%. But this time, after the Occupy Wall Street, youth and the fast food workers and the young students, the girls and boys, men and women, they said no more. And it's a very good sign. We are representing at this moment on Times Square, 42nd Street between 7th and 8th Avenue, representing the working class. What they're asking, give me a chance to live like a human. $15 is just like a 75 years before, equal price, equal amount of the money what the people making over there. And in last 75 years, people who controlling everything, Reaganite, Republican, Democrat, who belong to the 1% club. This is a shame that the people, little kids, little waitress, and immigrants taking a stand. And now this voice become a world voice, all over the world at this today. Today, 15th of the May, 2014, the voice is the only voice. Workers need respect. Workers need to live like a human. And the $15 in United States, and the same way in any other country, they will judge, they will say whatever they want. But as a human, they can live respectfully. That's what they demand. And anybody who think that they're gonna crush this thing, using the millions of dollars, using the good brain, good the professors, journalists, to kill this movement, no. It's a human movement, and it's gonna live. And unless workers got respect, workers got a good pay, so they can live, they can start the family, and they can live with their family. That's for the movement. And thank God, United States, worker class, working people, at this moment, leading this movement. And I want to say thanks to everybody in the world, in Africa, in Australia, in Asia, in Antarctica, anywhere, wherever the human. We are representing you, and we need you in Europe. Thank you very much, really, for the press who's covering this thing, and I hope our government will listen. So now I've got an opportunity, I'm going to say, let's deal with the immigration system. Legalize all, no more deportation. Workers is not they are a human, and human is not a crime. No human is illegal. Thanks a lot, people who are supporting us, and I hope they will listen us by this press, by this video, and we want to say thanks, and thanks.